I still have.
Có pháp. Sao?
A lot to do with the guild. How about you take a rest while I go back?
Nói chuyện với Kurosawa. Anh từ thế giới tôi chưa từng nghe nói chuyện này.
I've never even heard of these emergency provisions. I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous. If I was hoarding supplies, would I still be the poor man I am today? My own family can barely get by as it is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got other matters to attend to. And that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off in my work. Apparently, I'd even disappointed the Raiden Shogun.
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt Decree. Why would you be unworthy of your vision?
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to remember the details. All I know is that I would perform certain things every month. But I don't recall what they were. And it's not just that. I have this unsettling feeling, like...
Does it have to do with the missing emergency provisions?
I didn't take any. Like I said, if I was taking them for myself, I wouldn't be going through such hard times right now. To top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders, which is why I came here in the first place. I was chasing after them when I got held up by these two. If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself. If there were any emergency provisions to be had, they would have found them.
He seems to be telling the truth. But we better confirm. Let's go around. We should be able to follow their tracks. They couldn't have gone too far.
Don't worry. Atsuko will be fine.
Atsuko, is she still okay?
Ngăn cản đại đạo cướp nhà, đạo bảo và cướp nhà. Mấy thằng ấy ở đó. Ở đây. Xong nha.
We really outdid ourselves this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods. We really hit the jackpot. I mean,
You haven't seen anything yet. There'll be a lot more where this came from. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic journey of pillage and plunder that will go down in hoarder history. You demand, boss.
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after. Let's teach them a lesson.
Another test subject.
Wow. 2 tháng.
You're open. Yeah.
Đến 3 tháng. Được ô bố. Đây chứ. Trộm người. Cái gì?
Oh, there goes all the Mora. We worked hard to steal that, you know?
Suy tính đại sự.
Come on, boss.
Yeah,
Think of
look at-
something.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use someone like you. Kurosawa. Oh, I remember. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh? Just our luck. I knew he shouldn't have hit that place.
So what did you see inside? Was it stuffed with food supplies?
Food supplies? You kidding? That place was a complete mess. All we found was a strange-looking box, hopefully with valuables inside. I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was planning on opening it myself once we got back. But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal? That little box for our freedom. What do you...
You've got a deal. Now show us what's in the box.
Huh?
What the...
There's nothing in here but IOUs.
Yeah, a lot of them too. And they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store, a Miss Aoi. We better talk to this Miss Aoi and get to the bottom of this. As for you guys, you're free to go. Just pray that our paths don't cross again.
Let's get that.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs. Does that mean we broke even?
Shut it. Let's just get out of here.
Okay. Something to do.
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. We've got everything you need. Can I help you find something? Or perhaps there's something you want to inquire about? Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it? Perhaps you're here to pay off his debts.
Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're just here to learn where they all came from. How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money? Did he buy anything super expensive here?
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. He'd always put the payment on his own account. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover the cost. So, he started writing out IOUs to cover whatever he could.
So that's how he was getting those emergency provisions. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? If the prices increased, couldn't he just buy less?
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much they needed to sustain them each time. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have enough, especially after such long and careful planning. So he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than let the people down.
Wow, Kurosawa was purchasing all the emergency emergency provisions at his own expense. And no one ever appreciated what he did. They just complained and held him accountable.
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. In the face of hardship, nobody cares to think twice. If you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the supplies from the start, then there wouldn't be such a severe backlash now. Of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. What he was doing was truly a thankless deed. As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency provisions and never tell anyone, I'm still not too clear myself. If you're still curious, why don't you go ask him yourself? I see. That reminds me, it seems that his vision was recently confiscated. Most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword that is so dear to him.
Sword? What sword?
Oh, didn't he tell you? He possesses a very valuable blade. He's carried it for years now. I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was a gift from his father, that it was too precious to sell. In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Everything has its price, at least that. Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Perhaps it'll even oh, but before you go, if you would...
But we didn't buy anything!
Information is also a kind of commodity. Well, don't worry. I won't charge much for information.
At least we now know where the emergency provisions are coming from. Let's go talk to Kurosawa again and see if he can remember anything. What are you doing here all by yourself? Where did those other two go?
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders?
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were distributing emergency provisions, but they were all purchased at your own expense.
Strange. Is that really the kind of person I was? I don't really have any such recollection. Even after all you've told me. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions? But I cannot deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away. And this sword, I remember once when... What did he say? It would seem that all I can remember now is... And said to me...
Hey, if you look carefully, there seems to... Can you recognize the words?
Virtue and justice? Somehow those two words taking on seemingly endless debts to make, but what use of virtue and justice? The Tenryo Commission sees my vision, and the irony of all of it is I'm incapable of being...
Yet another... When we get the chance, let's speak... In any case, we must never... Yeah, seems like, fortunately for us, you don't have a vision. Let's go find the next... supervision. Paimon heard that this is his dojo.
Nanako, don't worry. Those thugs that challenged the dojo...
Maybe, but things have gotten dangerous.
It's just because he's been possessed.
Hey there!
Who are you? I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here. Don't make me draw my blade.
No! You got it so wrong. We just came here to,
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard, but then we got here and overheard you talking.
From the way... Please, accept my apologies. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. I see you are earned... Sensei's name is Domo, though self-taught. He once said that his goal was... And so, even while training... But then...
Not long ago, Sensei had his... He says Junior and I have... But if I'm honest...
The Grand
You haven't heard of it? Not that we'd have any... So don't worry, Nanako.
Con đường kiếm đạo bằng.
The exorcism will take place this evening.
So, losing your...
Shh. So you decided to come. It's a good thing you didn't arrive any earlier. Just now, when Nanako was attending, when she asked him who the people were, he suddenly looked... It looked like he was in great distress. He was covered all the while he kept calling those names. Some of them, one of them was Anzai. Sensei wouldn't stop calling his... The ritual has now begun. Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water. If he wakes up, he is sure to be thirsty.
Sneaking around. Uh-oh. Could they be here to mess up the exorcism? We won't let them get away with it. Come on, let's go after them. Should we keep going further up? Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up. Aha! Suspicious person sighted!
How did you... Are you sure you're Domon's disciples? You move even quicker than he, unless... I guess it's been a few years. Maybe his skill...
Excuse me? We're the ones asking the questions here. First off, who are you? And what are you doing sneaking around these parts? You seem like bad news, mister!
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with Domon back in the day, long before you ever showed up. I don't care to talk about that time anymore. But if you must know, I am Domon's senior.
His senior? Wait, that means you must be...
Anzai? Yes, that's me. Because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated with him ever again. When we were young, we trained under the same swordmaster, studying Meikyo Shisui art together. I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as a steady and dependable older disciple. Practitioners of Make-Yoshi Sui art seek to achieve stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. But Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight to our sensei and ask him, with a beaming smile on his face, how to become the best in the world. Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends, the title of the best swordmaster too at the time. But Domon began making swift progress in his training and even started... Only then did I realize that it was Domon who had long freed his mind from all agitation. He was consumed by his singular desire to become the best in the world. He sought nothing less than perfection in the art of the sword, and nothing could deter him from this goal, no matter what stood in his way.
Sure sounds like he meant business. So how come you don't want to ever see...
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would succeed our sensei as the master. Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. I had trained the longest. Everyone had high expectations for me. Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred, I lost not just the match, but my pride and my status too. I fled the dojo that later. I heard that he sparred with Sensei too. Sensei was advanced in years by then, and unfortunately that match used up every... After that I wanted nothing further to do with him. Deep down though, I still respected his mastery of the blade, and his commitment to the art of the sword. So, when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind, my first reaction was to dismiss them as false. How could he, of all people, have lost his mind? I decided to quietly come and see if it were true. Then, to my complete astonishment, I heard him call my name. So you see, I came here not to cause him any harm. I just wanted to see... Okay, you've heard my story. You should get back now. The exorcism is probably finishing.
Seems like we got it wrong this time. He wasn't here to mess up the exorcism at all. Still, Paimon's not sure we should bring him back with us.
You're saying he isn't possessed? Does that mean that he's just lost his mind? But how is that possible? No,
Nanako, please. Try not to get agitated.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any malignant spirit having possessed Domon. But spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim to have witnessed and all is certainly not lost. For I received word not long ago that Lady Yai has taken an interest in your sensei.
Lady Yai? Is that the same Lady Yai that I think you mean?
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine? That's wonderful news! Then Sensei will be sure to recover.
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed, and has abundant experience. I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed your sensei. But Lady Yai...
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask, should we prepare a...
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand Narukami I must leave now, but we will meet soon.
Who'd have thought Lady Yai herself would have taken notice?
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough to...
No, that's not what I meant at all. I just mean this is Lady Yai, the head anyway, you should, given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our...
Sure! After all, everyone seems pretty Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find out a thing or two about the Raiden children from her.
chưa đánh dấu cái đèn này.
Is this an answer from this world?
Bắt đầu lên cái núi kia rồi. Cách. Gì đây? Bắt nguồn. Giờ. Núi cao. Ui, game này nhiều quá chất luôn. Gì đây? Sao không được nhận được?
Do you think that's Lady Ai? Oh, no wonder Junyo is so excited. She has a really striking presence. Also, is it just Paimon? Or did she look... it was probably nothing. It's not like she's ever seen us before.
Keep away. Keep away from me. I gave up the art of the sword. Please.
As you can see, Lady Yai, Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He appears to see those who have lost to him in duels past, gathered all around him to persecute.
Lady Yai, it must be a possession, right? This is nothing like him at all. In the past, no matter what came his way...
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei...
But... then did...
Yes. This is a change in the person himself. Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. As one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his predicament, it does nothing to prevent his descent into... As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision. For to be stripped of one...
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Yai, even without his ambition, why should he suffer such a dramatic change? How does that explain his descent into madness?
Your school practices Meikyo Shisui art, does it not? Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. What a fine notion that would be if any in this world could ever... There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior. And then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and...
Lady Ai, I'm not sure I understand.
The path of the sword master is filled with twists and turns. It is no small undertaking to pursue the position of greatest sword. It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands and cut down the hopes and dreams of others. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him to rise above the pain of these encounters. When that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself. As he battled his growing anxiety, he slowly... much like a certain fatally flawed friend of mine.
Poor sensei. To think he's been suffering so greatly.
I'm sorry. It's all Father, Sensei, Onsai.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that Onsai? Did he follow us the whole...
Onsai, why are there two of you? Is that you or a ghost? You're here for revenge, aren't you? I knew it would...
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kind. It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. I don't think most of the people you beat along the way would hold it against you. Now I know that we can't place our... But that is no reason to...
But what if one day the same thing happens to them? I put everything I had into trying to become the best. If there's a chance they'll end up like me one day, I'd rather they stay where they are now than go any further down this path.
Have you asked them what they think?
Sensei, after you rescued me from the hands of the pirates, I told myself I would... I can't know whether I will suffer in my future as you do now. All I know is that here and now, in the present, I wish to continue. I want to keep going until the day that I can stand before everyone with my head held high and announce that I...
Nanako's far from the only one. Actually, all of us think that way.
Goodness.
You see? You can place the ambition you once had in their hands. Being stripped of your ambition is something that's never happened to me. So I can't claim to understand it. But so, just as I once placed my ambitions onto you, it is time for you. You are not in the same position that I was. When I left...
I'm sorry to have made you worry for me, and I no longer have the resolve to become the best in the world. The emptiness and suffering inside of me will not abate, so I cannot hope to still my mind and be free of agitation. But as your sensei, I shall commit to him. This is my promise.
You can count on that, but I am now used to the... Well, don't just stand there staring at me.
So even though his ambition was taken away, his disciples can take it over on his behalf. Guess that sort of solves this.
Traveler, a moment, please. Lady Yai.
So, my intuition was correct. The wind that blows from afar carries fresh life to these shores. For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands. I have high hopes for you, child. Don't disappoint me.
Ooh, Lady Yai seems to have taken a real interest in you. She seems super mysterious. Paimon's so curious what she really meant by all that. We can come back to it another time. For now, we should go report back to Miss Kami.
Narukami, please. See that he stays safe.
Anh đào thần.
By the protection of the Electro Archon, may the blossoms of the sacred...
Oh, Ayaka! Guess who fulfilled all your wishes? Huh? Ayaka! Huh?
Traveler, Paimon. It is a pleasure to finally meet you both. I have heard all about how you helped our three friends.
Yeah. Short of getting them their visions back, it seems like there's no way to Ayaka.
Because now that you have done the three things I asked of you, I consider you to be my friend.
Wait a second. But
Oh.
oh, okay then. Ayaka,
Thank you both kindly. Back to the matter at hand. You have now witnessed the pain of those deprived of their visions. Thunders roar, lightnings flash, the winds assault, and the rains, but I believe that surely you understand what they must. It seems that perhaps now you can appreciate my feelings on all of this. In which case, perhaps you would be willing to reconsider your stance? You will? Really? Naturally.
All right, bravo, my lady. You were right all along.
See? I told you he wouldn't reject them. I'd place my trust in the right person. Now then, given that the remainder of our discussion pertains...
Well, here we are again.
Please continue without me. I'll keep watch.
So, what's the deal with this place anyway? What makes it your favorite?
This is land that was gifted to the Yashiro Commission by the Shogun. The such privileges exist due to the Yashiro Commission's role in managing ceremonial affairs.
Oh, Paimon gets it. Gotta keep a bit of mystery, right?
Once the number of ceremonial affairs to decline, our forebears, members of the Yashiro Commission, are permitted to come and go as they please.
Makes sense. Perfect place for a secret base.
In any case, we can talk freely here. The almighty Shogun. I've seen her on but only a few occasions. Most of them formal. She inspires awe, commands respect, and exudes it was her almost complete lack of any emotion. In that sense, she appeared to me to... The issue is this. For the vast majority of people, after all, it is but a tiny because of this, the attitude of most...
How can they be like that? Paimon's
Nevertheless, in addition to us, there were...
Resistance? You mean like an army?
Yes. Many who have lost are fit to say a little more about Sangonomiya. But I do wonder whether there may be some other... Of course. We have tried on numerous occasions. They invariably adopt a stance of It almost makes one wonder whether they had a...
Ooh, Paimon has a question though.
Oh? What would you like?
Have you got a plan yet to fight the Vision Hunt Decree?
To be honest, we do not.
What?
Please, do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt Decree... Well, for the moment, all we can... For example...
You're telling Paimon that there are...
Don't underestimate the talents of the craft. The problem we are facing right now is that Master Masakatsu...
Darn! So they...
Yes. We knew it would... Exactly. I feel the same way. By no means do we intend to place the burden of such a task on your shoulders alone. When you are ready, go to Hanamizaka and look for a fireworks shop run by the Naganohara family. There, you will find someone who can help you.
Điện pháo hoa. Không có hoa gì cả.
Just hand it over. You don't want any trouble with me. If you think your elemental powers are enough to resist the Vision Hunt Decree, then you'd better think again. Believe me, you're not the first of your kind we've encountered, and we've...
Can't you make an exception? I just got this vision. I won't even use it, I promise.
So this is the Vision Hunt Decree in action, huh? We can't just sit around and watch things unfold. Psst! Hey! Wait! Huh? There's someone trying to get our attention. Come on! This way! What's going on? Can't you see we need to go help? Shh! Quiet! Just sit tight and watch for... Hey! This isn't right, you know! Just because you don't have a vision doesn't mean you can sit back and watch... Huh? Hey, wait! You do have a vision! Shh! If you don't keep your voice down, I won't have one much longer.
All right. Here, take it.
Wise.
What should we do now? He's already given up his vision. Doesn't he know what could happen to him after losing it? This is your fault. Just from interfering.
Many thanks, Miss Yoimiya. If you hadn't swapped me a fake just now, I'm sure I would have lost it.
No worries. You put on quite the convincing performance.
Oh, so that's what's going on here. And to think Paimon is about to unleash Paimonial.
Think nothing of it. I could tell from your reaction. Oh, right.
Practically everyone on Hanamizaka knows Yoimiya.
Whoa, that's cool.
Stop it, Hanjiro. As for thanking me, you'd be better off thanking Master Masakatsu. He's the one that gave me the fake visions in the first place. His handiwork allowed me to keep my own vision. I can't even imagine trying to run the business without it.
Yes, Master Masakatsu is a good man. It's too bad good people seldom get the recognition they deserve.
Master Masakatsu?
Huh? Do you guys know him too? You don't say. But if I just marched straight in there by myself, I'd probably... So, what about if I join you instead?
Sure, welcome to the team. Ayaka told us to go look for help at a fireworks shop. She must have meant you.
Seems like So, Master Masakatsu is being held at the police station. I've already surveyed the area.
Whoa, talk about a reliable source. Seems we've got the right person on our team.
Not bad, huh? Let's go as soon as everyone's...
Time to break him out!
The essence of the Ame Noma art is to have the patience to...
Have we really run out of exciting cases? I pray that today is safe as always.
Come on, this way. As I certainly wouldn't want to end up locked. We should split up.
You sure?
Yes, you two.
Nagatama in order to open it.
this? Allow me to strike first. Don't hold back. Burn. I'll spare nothing. Show me what you've got. Who goes there? I won't forget this.
This wall looks a bit odd. Maybe there's some special trick to it. These guys seem a lot tougher than usual. Paimon wonders if that armor over there has anything to do with the source of their strength.
Dodge this! You will pay for that! You must withdraw. Who makes us a lesson? Get them. Time for retribution! Watch your step! Lightning flash! Get the thunderclap! Take this! Don't hold back! Soldiers, quick! Show me what you've got! Show me what you've got! You cannot match my bravery! Show me what you've got! Get them! My flame has been extinguished.
Ready, steady, go!
Soldiers, quick! I dare you! Don't hold back! Cool it! Don't
push your luck. I'm getting tired of this game. Dodge this. It's my first. This doesn't look good.
Show me what you've got! Show me what you've got!